I'm just sick of all the amateur stuff, you know? I mean, like, if I'm paying top dollar, I want a little production value, you know? Like some editing, transition, something, some music.
Hey, buddy.
Don't worry,
like
we didn't leave you.
He's gone? He's not gone. That's the whole point. He's never gone.
Our bosses say we gotta stay.
Check out the name tag. You're in my world now, Grandma.
Bow to your sensei. Bow to your sensei.
It's time for the second hour of The Voice of Ocala.
Hoo-ah! You ever come across anything like time travel?
Come on, stick around. It's free.
If you win, you win. If you lose, you still win.
All right, welcome now to the program. I'm hungry. Talking about LA food. Man, a restaurant show. If you heard it, hope you enjoyed their rewind or replay of it. We taped it on Tuesday, and such great demand for it that we decided to bring it back to you, which we're going to try to do on a regular basis. Hour to the program. We're live, by the way, here. Glad to be with you today on a Thursday afternoon. And
you sure we're live?
No, I'm not sure of anything, but I just know that right now we're talking and it's going out of the airways, so I guess it's live.
That's live.
So Buddy Martin along with Tom Schmitz, glad to be back with you for hour two of the show today. Got a full stack, 3 hours coming up for you today. In this hour, we'll talk a little bit about a very disconcerting story that I read in the paper today about the poverty level in our community, which we don't have more than just the stats at this point in time, but something we probably can talk about as we go, and something we should talk about because it's one of those things that nobody really wants to talk about. It's the invisible people. And the invisible people, just let them stay hidden someplace and make sure when I'm driving down the highway, I don't have to worry about looking at them. I'm not saying everybody's this way. We all kind of want to put people, we want to warehouse people, put them in certain compartments. And your description of poverty and my description of poverty might be different than the government calls poverty, but poverty is poverty. And I think we at least owe an explanation or discussion about the level of poverty. We've slipped now significantly in that area. So I'll talk more about that later as well. Pamela Calero of the Ocala Symphony Orchestra, they announced today that they're doing the Hunchback of Notre Dame. The Silver Springs International Film Festival is doing the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the Symphony Orchestra will play music for that, which should be great at the Marion Theater as part of the Silver Springs Film Festival, International Film Festival coming up in October. We'll talk more about that. Joe Martone tells me it's ladies' night.
Here at the mall.
Yeah, and of course Joe would know that if it was ladies' night because he's one of the ladies, right?
No, he's actually the MC.
Oh, okay. Well, he wears pink. Never mind. That's a different deal.
Oh,
but anyway, so Joe, and by the way, we'll talk to some of the folks who are helping put that on. Glad to welcome the ladies out here to the Paddock Mall on a Thursday. Had a nice visit, speaking of ladies, with Angie Lewis today. Went and saw her new place. Got a tour.
How is it?
Really spectacular. I mean, just beautiful, gorgeous. Met every one of her staff members. In fact, I got a picture I'm going to post on it, and it's just it's what you want the historic district to be. You know what she's done to that place, maintain all the integrity of the building and the ambiance, and she's got 8 staff members, offices there. She has a meeting room, beautiful meeting room. It's more like a high tea place where I understand the sheriff's office had a meeting out there, like
wow.
8 tables and people. And that's available through Angie Lewis, the State Farm Agency, to use. Caught up with Angie on some stuff and visited with her, and we'll talk more about that later on.
So you're out gallivanting around, social meetings with Angie and all, and I'm putting together the most popular syndicated show in the South. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
I don't know, Tom, how you do it because you're not that good.
I'm not. I'm really not that good. What you want me to tell you how? I got good help.
Okay. All right. I'm just repeating what a guy told you when he said, how come you got a syndicated show and you're on in the afternoon every hour on drive time and you have a weekend show and you're not that good?
He said, no, his exact words was, let's be honest. You've gotten better, but you're really not that good.
That's always a high water mark, right? You got better, but you're really not that good.
That conversation started out with, I don't want this to sound demeaning.
It's not a me thing. Yeah, well, anyway, you are that good. It's coming up at 6 o'clock. And by the way, we just got a message on Facebook, actually, that the folks up in Georgia are preempting us, going early with the show. It's so good. They're going to be on at 5 o'clock up there, just in case you're driving through Brunswick or Savannah or Hilton Head or Waycross at 5 o'clock, which I doubt you'll be doing. They're playing the show, the Southern Pigskin Tonight show, at 5 o'clock, and we're playing at 6 with the miracle of Memorex. I used to remember that TV. Is it Memorex or is it Tom? And this show, of course, I think Bradshaw did his best show.
It really was a
good show. If you
missed last week's show, it's on. You just go to the Voice of Ocala WOCA webpage, click on Buddy's picture, click on the podcast emblem, and you can hear last week's show, Southern Pigskin Tonight. So
we're going to put them together for you so you can get them in. The thing about this week is we got a big game for the Gators, and we have experts called in to talk about it. Matt Hayes of the Sporting News will be one, of course. Brady Ackerman, Gator Radio Network. We haven't had Brady on in a long time. I worked for years with Brady, and you did too.
Yep.
Brady is, of course, now strolls the sidelines and does his interviews. Coach Muschamp. I just heard Will Muschamp interviewed on radio by Paul Feinbaum just a minute ago, and his comments about the game. So the Alabama-Florida game, I did the Joe Williams show out in Denver just a minute ago. We talked about that game. That's a scary
picture, by the way. You put a Throwback Thursday of you
beautiful?
And Joe.
It's a beautiful thing.
I mean, I had no idea Joe was such a good-looking guy.
Yeah, he was a pretty sporting fellow. He loved to work his way. He worked around his way around Vegas a few times.
Especially he had that like rooster pink thing. It looked good. I mean,
good mustache going on and whatever.
What was that rooster pink thing? He used to wear his hair like that. He kind of looked like a chicken.
That's a chicken suit. It is actually a fable in Denver that everybody knows is already on the show today. People have called him and Mile High Sports in Denver for the picture I put of him in a chicken suit because he lost a bet to me, and I made him wear the stupidest, cheapest looking rubber chicken outfit you've ever seen. And here he is with the big comb on it. It's hilarious. If you go to my Facebook page, you'll see it. Anyway, Joe Williams joins us today at 5:40. He'll be talking about the big college football games, and of course, Franz Beer checks in at 5:20 or so today to talk about the Florida-Alabama game. So it's going to be a jam-packed, back-to-back hours of sports from 5 through 7. You should, if you like sports, stay tuned. Keep it right here. So lots happening today, and my friend, have you anything to offer so far? So far, all you've done is just sit over there and push buttons.
I like to think that somebody in this area may have listened to me. We had a recent show where we had Ask the Cops, brought to you by the way, by the fine folks at the Briggs Law Firm, Randy and Bo Briggs. Mm-hmm. But we had Ask the Cops on here, and I asked a question of the Sheriff's Department, and lo and behold, there's a news story about what I asked, but concerning the Ocala Police Department.
Regarding the 911 calls and how they're distributed and who picks them and so on and so forth, talking about that story?
No.
Okay.
No.
Because that story's in today's paper, too.
No, I'm talking about what'll soon be standard uniform.
Oh, the cameras, yeah.
Standard uniform.
Yeah, you did bring that up a couple of times, to your point. Every now and then you find an acorn.
Blind hog.
Yeah. And there's one today about Sheriff Blair clarifying the remark on the responders. Said he had 185 calls on the responders they couldn't get to, but it turns out they did get to them. So he clarified.
We'll talk in a timely manner.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after the break. But the comments are coming now from Facebook about Joe Williams in the chicken suit.
Wow, look out.
All right, well, we'll take a break, come back, more coming your way. Pamela Calera will tell us about the Hunchback of Notre Dame and the Ocala Symphony Orchestra. A lot more to come on this hour on The Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local. The Source.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of the Proper Teas Salon in downtown Ocala. Here in Florida, we're all about summertime fun, but along with the warm weather comes humidity, which leads to the dreaded frizzies. Are you tired of checking the weather report every morning before deciding to flat iron your hair? Sick of looking like the Lion King every day by noon? Has God just not seen fit to answer your prayers for patience and silky, frizz-free hair? Well, your troubles are over. Come to the Proper Teas Salon for one of our hair smoothing systems. Specializing in Peter Coppola and Cezanne keratin smoothing treatments, the Proper Teas Salon can tame your unruly locks with these formaldehyde-free formulas. And with the discount code BuddyRocks, you will save 20%. Not fighting the frizzies? Mention the same code BuddyRocks to save 20% off one of our many services such as cuts, color, extensions, and manis and petties. Gentlemen, this special is not just for the ladies. We do great cuts and color for men too. Check us out at thepropertees.com for more information.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. And so is State Farm agent Angie Lewis, working hard to serve her community as a citizen and insurance agent. Angie wants to help you as you adjust your insurance needs to your life, from everything to helping educate your teen driver to protecting your family against everyday risk. She wants to change the way you perceive insurance by developing relationships with her clients, which is why Angie and her staff are proud to be a part of so many good causes in Ocala. In turn, she has chosen to single out those who step up as leaders. Each month on The Voice of Ocala, Angie spotlights a good neighbor, saluting those who give exceptional service or do random acts of kindness to others. For this, Angie was written up in State Farm's National Magazine. Angie also supports local businesses with a regular Biz Buzz. The Angie Lewis State Farm Agency is located at 1122 Northeast 36th Avenue, where visitors are always welcome and the coffee pot is always on.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase price of fixed rate allowance.
Fumble! I was so busy making my fantasy football picks that I forgot to stock up on inventory, and now I need cars fast, so I'm calling for an inventory blitz. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. This month, bring me in your old car, and you could score the nicer, newer ride you've been fantasizing about for just $10 down.
Sack your old car.
And start driving the nicer, newer car of your dreams for just $10 down. Don't get fouled by past credit problems.
Our For the People credit approval process is the game changer you've been waiting for.
We huddle up the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game. So stop driving a car you hate.
Punt it and drive a nicer, newer car for just $10 down today.
I'm throwing in a Hail Mary to make my month, and I need your help. Trade in your old car, and you could drive for just $10 down. But don't wait till the clock runs out. This deal is over when my inventory is full. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
Your home is safe, or is it? AA Lock, Dock, and Security. The name has been a staple in Ocala since 1985. Do you have the right equipment in place to have peace of mind when you are at home or away? AA Lock, Dock, and Security has the right people to install and monitor your home or business. Call today for a free on-site security analysis. Call 867-1965. AA Lock, Dock, and Security, 219 Northwest 10th Street, 867-1965.
Who would you feed if you had 50 chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A? WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall have teamed up to reward one organization with 50 chicken sandwiches as a way of saying thanks for the great work that organization is doing in our community. And we need your help. See, there are so many great people doing great things that we need nominations. You can nominate your own organization or any organization you choose. Simply send an email to WOCA@WOCA.com. And in 350 words or less, tell us why the organization you are nominating should receive 50 free chicken sandwiches from WOCA and Chick-fil-A at the Paddock Mall. We'll review your nominations and then select one deserving organization each month. We'll announce the winner and even read the winning entry on the air. Make sure to include the contact name and phone number of the organization that you are nominating. And thanks from your friends at WOCA and Chick-fil-A in the Paddock Mall.
Hey, this is Anthony Anderson, and
All right, welcome back, program. Your music's not working again, huh? Okay, well, we'll do without it. Just go what they call go cold. Let's go cold to the telephone. Coming up, the Ocala Symphony Orchestra, in association partnership with the Silver Springs International Film Festival, is going to present The Hunchback of Notre Dame, a silent film released in 1923, accompanied by the haunting original score performed by Ocala Symphony Chamber Orchestra with Matthew Wardell directing. On the line with us now is the, I don't know if I should call it the czar lady or the public relations chief or the press agent or just kind of the boss lady. I forget what Pamela's title is, but she runs the joint, okay? I'm leaving it at that. Pamela Calero. How are you, Pamela?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me on.
What's the title? I always get it messed up.
I'm the executive director, but
course
I would answer to all of those others as well.
Well, I would say that executive director fits you just fine. So I'll try to remember that from now on. So you got a cool thing going on here, and of course you know how much I love the Marion Theater anyway. And we've got this event coming up in October, 2-day Scream, which the Film Foundation is going to do, and a Halloween night with a Rocky Horror Picture Show. And so now I'm glad to see that the Symphony Orchestra once again getting involved with the Marion. Tell me about this night. What's going on?
Okay, so the night is on Thursday, October 30th, and like you said, we're going to be showing the original Hunchback of Notre Dame, and that's the one that stars Lon Chaney, and he is known as the man of, I think it was many faces, man of 1,000 faces, and so that night we're going to show the silent film, and as you said, the symphony will be playing alongside an original score, and so the times, 6:30 p.m. we're going to have the first showing, and then at 9:30 we're going to have the second performance, which also includes access to a VIP pre-party. And that party is going to be at the Brick City Center for the Arts.
Nice. I was over today with visiting with Angie Lewis at her new State Farm office there on Fort King, which I know you know. She said she'd been talking to you, and she, of course, this is a big deal. She's on the board like I am, except she's been more active than I have lately. And everybody pointing toward that event coming up, and very excited that everything is coming together for another film festival. And glad to see that the Symphony Orchestra, I know under your directorship, and of course Matthew and the team, they really want to get plugged into a lot of things in the community, especially downtown. So it's not just a symphony orchestra that sort of plays every now and then. It's really an active group of people who want to get involved in things. This is a great way to do that.
Absolutely. And Buddy, one of the really big reasons why, we want to do this is it's fun. And, we have our concerts, our normal subscription concert series, which is always wonderful, and, we get a good showing to that. But this is something different. This is something that's unique. We haven't, the only time we've done this before is when we had Nosferatu last year. And so our goal is, to bring, new people who maybe have never experienced a symphony before, bring them out to this really cool, unique event at the Marion Theater. I mean, of all the great places to have it. And of course, teaming up with the Film Festival, and they're phenomenal. And I know in the spring, you guys did such a good job. So we're just excited to partner up.
That's good. I have this. You have things on your bucket list of fantasy things that you'd love to do someday?
Yes, I do.
I have this thing which will never happen, but I still think about it just one time in a tux and tails, standing up before the orchestra with a maestro wand, and just moving my hand and letting the orchestra play just once. It's must be such a powerful feeling, huh?
You know what? You say that might never happen, but you better watch out.
See, I knew he was going to start. I knew if he started begging, I knew that's what this was. I knew.
Pamela knows what I'm talking about. It's
He's
just
begging,
that,
Pamela. He's
that
begging.
rush. Let me just say it this way. The day Tom Spitz gets up there, and that's the end of classical music in our town. That'll never happen.
It's not on my bucket list.
At least I've heard of some of the songs, Tom. No, that's going to be exciting. And I, of course, I love Matthew. He's you guys are almost dangerous when you get together and we all have coffee because their ideas just flying all over the place like Peter Pan, And this is a good one. And update us. My wife was asking me today on the new symphony home over in the old auditorium in Tuscaloosa. What's the status of that?
Right now, we are working with the city on permitting, so we don't have anything in concrete yet to report. But we are, still raising money. We have, a little over $300,000 to go, and we received another check this morning, and I was so excited about that. And I won't tell you who, but it was someone who is, deep in the community, has been here for years, and they've never been to the symphony, but they believe in the project and they believe in the building and saving it. So, we're really working on that, and we expect though to be open end of the summer 2015.
That's such a neat thing. I get what this person's talking about because it's the same kind of people who love the Marion Theater for what it is. It's such a great part of what our past is and our future. That's what's cool about it. And your generation has embraced it, which is, I think, wonderful that we can all do this together from both sides and put together a great complex like we got going out there on the auditorium and now in the Marion Theater. So it's all good, and congratulations to you and the team for all you're doing. And I'll probably see you at Mark's. Usually you run down there on Thursday afternoons, your whole group, and so we'll catch you there. But keep us up to speed on what's going on, and let me know what I can do to help. And it's exciting. Once again, the date for this is when?
It's October 30th, and I just want to say last year tickets sold out 2 weeks before the performance. So we're doing 2 performances this year, and you can go to ocalasymphony.com right now, click on Buy Tickets, and you can get them right away.
It's back to Notre Dame with the Ocala Symphony Orchestra performance. That's wonderful. Thanks, Pamela. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Pamela Calero, the Executive Director of the Ocala Symphony Orchestra. Pretty cool, huh?
Pretty cool, but let me tell you, you said I wouldn't know classical.
Oh, don't start with me today.
I know classical.
Don't you start with me.
Let me tell you, I know classical music.
Yeah.
Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water, Leonard Skinner's Free Bird. I know classical music.
Yeah, I didn't say classic rock or pop. I said classical music. So
that is classic music.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
You're talking about Chopin and people like that, right?
Yeah, right. Chopin and Beethoven.
Yeah, Beethoven. You're talking about those guys.
And Mozart.
You're talking about that. Well, Bruce is a good guy.
Yeah.
Pretty good cameraman.
Yeah.
But so you're talking about Beethoven and Chopin.
Yeah, there's an idea. Why don't we play a little classical music today? Just to class things up.
Well, I don't even know who Chopin is.
I know. The nice part about it, it's a guy. It's somebody who's a Seminole fan.
Oh, okay.
Chopin,
okay.
and a Braves fan.
That's what it was. That's okay.
Yeah.
I knew that.
I didn't mean to bring up a sore subject of the Braves. I'm sorry.
Don't even start on the Braves.
Somebody
asked me the other day, "Are you watching baseball?" I said, "Baseball's going on."
What baseball? It's football season.
It's football season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tonight, huge game tonight. If you're an NFL fan, Falcons and the Bucks, if you're especially from around this area, but I'm sorry to say I've been listening to a lot of the national people. Nobody is giving Tampa Bay a shot in this football game.
We'll see.
Derek Anderson made them look pedestrian.
Well, we'll see how good the Falcons are. Though they didn't look exactly wonderful.
They didn't look real good against.
The game I'm pumped about is the Auburn-Kansas State game.
That's going to be a great football game. I'm not watching that game. I got other things I'm doing tonight. I'm going to have a good time.
You work all the time.
Well, if the money I make here is so large that I shouldn't work as much as I do, but I just like
a ton
working.
of money.
I like working.
Make more than I do. By the way, I want to just give a shout out to Kimberly Center. We talk about it sometimes on the show.
One of Greg Graham's favorite places to talk about.
And it's a story in today's Star Banner about celebrating 5 years. And it's a place that it's a shelter, for people to go and abuse. It's such a big thing in the news right now, of course, the domestic violence and abuse. And if anything good can come out of this mess that they're, which Terry Bradshaw says he's so sick of, he wants to stick his head in the sand, become an ostrich because he's tired of it, is that this awareness and people who do things like this, this whole Kimberly Center, which is a local organization, is such an important part of our child abuse issue. In fact, it's if anything, the story says there should be more attention put on it. So one of the problems that Dawn Westgate talks about in the story, she talks about the fact that Marion County doesn't have a structured program on educating parents and children about sexual abuse and neglect. And she says that's one of the things that has to change. So the education of this situation, it starts with it coming to the forefront in the media in a bad way. We all need to learn a little bit more about child abuse because I'm going to say one thing about Paul Feinbaum. I don't say many good things about him, but I will say that Paul Feinbaum said today, he was asked about the whole thing regarding sexual abuse and domestic abuse, and he said, "I'm not qualified to talk about that," and he's not, and neither am I, and you're not either. And it's one of the things that we
didn't live with my mother. I know child abuse, pal.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about. I'm serious about it. I mean, we're not coached up on it. We're not educated on it, and one of the issues that we've got right now in the NFL is that very thing, is that, what is it? I mean, is Adrian Peterson, you can argue the issue of discipline, that's a whole different subject, but there's no doubt about child abuse.
I know what Tim
real.
Dwyer did, headbutting his wife in the head and throwing a boot at an 18-month-old with the Arizona Cardinals.
Right. And you also know about foster children, and that's one of the things that people talk about in the story. But Kimberly Center, we talk about people stepping up and doing things. I know Thad Boyd had a big role in that at one point in time. I think I'm going to give a shout out today to the people at Kimberly Center for the wonderful work they've done in our community, and I think it's great that the Star Banner ran a story today on that issue, because it's something that we should again be aware of, as we should poverty, which is a story right next to it. All of a sudden, we have more poor people in poverty than we've had in a long, long time. We come back, I'm going to read that story and talk about it, and you stop and think about it, 1 out of 5 people. Incredible that many people are living in poverty in this community. It's grown from 15.6% to 19.5%, living at the poverty level in our community. Unbelievable. Like I said, it's the invisible people to us. We kind of warehouse people and say, well, let them get assistance, let them get a job, whatever. And we got.
But that doesn't. This is where you and I will agree. Poverty doesn't always mean let them get a job. There's a lot of people that work 40 hours a week and work hard and are still below the poverty level.
Yes, that's true. And trying hard and doing all the right things. All right, we'll take a break, come back, more to come your way. It's Ladies' Day tonight here at Paddock Mall, so check it out right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
If you know what happiness is to you, because I'm happy, clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Bring me down, can't none bring me down.
Hey, Eddie, I'm playing Augusta in a few hours, and I need a 4th. Want to join us?
Georgia's close, but it's not that close, Alex.
Not Georgia. Golden Ocala. I'm a member at Golden Ocala, and this course has 8 tribute holes, like number 12 and 13. Part of Amen Corner, and the postage stamp, and the road hole. It's a phenomenal track. My family and I always have a great time at the pool and at the restaurants. They've got 3, The kids love the tennis programs. My wife practically lives at the spa, and I've been bulking up with a personal trainer in their fitness center. Joining Golden Ocala was one of the best decisions I've ever made, aside from marrying my wife, of course. So you want to join us in a few hours?
Absolutely. I can't wait to play the first hole in golf and the road hole too. Hey, how do I become a member at Golden Ocala?
Eddie, just call 352-402-4343.
Luxury and great golf is affordable at Golden Ocala. Call 352-402-4343 to join.
Regions Bank has big bank ability but possesses small bank agility. Utilizing tools like Raymond Andrews and his team of 6 mortgage experts with 100 years of experience in the mortgage industry and 50 years experience as members of the Regions Bank team. Mortgage lending is personal and important, and you deserve someone that will lead you through a positive process. Raymond and his team use local mortgaging processes like local appraisers and local closing to help you have a positive experience, and they habla Espanol as well. So whether you need a conventional, FHA, USDA, or VA loan, or you even need a construction loan, the mortgage team of your local Regions Bank has the knowledge and experience to guide you through the process. So contact Raymond Andrews and his team of mortgage experts at 352-854-4104. That's 352-854-4104. Regions Bank, it's time to expect more.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. As the Pentagon approves airstrikes against ISIS targets in Syria, a Senate vote soon on another part of the president's strategy.
The provision authorizing the arming and training of the Free Syrian Army to fight ISIS was added to a short-term spending bill by House Republicans and passed on a bipartisan tally. The Senate expected to do the same.
Fox Radio's Jared Halpern. A wildfire threatening more than 2,000 homes east of Sacramento deliberately set. Wayne Allen Huntsman facing arson charges.
Mr. Huntsman is currently being housed in the El Dorado County Jail with a bail set at $10 million.
El Dorado County Sheriff John D'Agostini benched Arizona Cardinals running back Jonathan Dwyer allegedly headbutted his wife, breaking her nose because she refused to have sex with him. Fox News, we report, you decide.
Sending important work files as regular attachments is a big risk. You lose control the moment you hit send. That's why millions of professionals rely on Citrix ShareFile, the easy-to-use business solution for exchanging files quickly and securely. With ShareFile, send files of almost any size without bounce backs. Files are encrypted and remain under your control. Try Citrix ShareFile free for 30 days. Go to sharefile.com, click the microphone at the top of the homepage and enter information. That's sharefile.com, type in information.
Know-how! Your garage is filled with awesome things, like your collection of unused sporting goods and an odd assortment of scrap lumber. Dump it all. You'll need the room, because Napa has Mobile One synthetic oil for $5.99 a quart. Yep, for $5.99 a quart, you can fill your garage with Mobile One. Now that's a good use of space. Conquer the job with Napa Know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 9/30/14.
On this episode of What Not to Do, brought to you by
Mike Scott Plumbing. If water runs through it, we do it.
Okay, easy. All right, set her down. Over there. Easy.
What are you doing?
Oh, honey, you're home early. Nothing.
Really? Because it looks to me like you've torn up the entire yard with this giant tractor.
Not all of it. There is a small section over there I didn't
That's
get.
not even funny. Why are you tearing up my yard?
Well, the sprinkler head broke.
So you thought it was a good idea to fix it with a huge tractor?
Well, not at first, but then when I tried to fix it, I hit the main line. Thought it would be a good idea
You thought all of this was a good idea? Here's an idea. Why don't you just call Mike Scott Plumbing? It's that easy. In fact, let me help you out with that. 237-2888.
But it's the weekend.
I know. They don't charge extra for nights, weekends, or holidays. Remember the commercials? If water runs through it, they do it. And they're already on their way. So get this monstrosity out of my yard.
On next week's episode of What Not to Do.
A crane? Really?
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
At the Dannon.
All right, back on the Voice of Ocala. The program used to have music bumpers, but somehow we don't have it anymore. I'm not sure why, but hey, what do I know? The program's called the Voice of Ocala. It's Ladies' Night, I should say, night out. Ladies' Night Out at Paddock Mall, and if you folks are not familiar with it, it's where a group of ladies get together and go out. And I guess there'll be music. Whenever I see Jonathan Pierce, I think of the Blue Jays. I think of music, but this might be a little different role. Let's check in with Jonathan, who joins us in the studio. How are you, Jonathan?
Hey, I'm doing awesome, buddy. How you doing today?
I didn't recognize you standing in front of the window a while ago, and Tom said, that was Jonathan. I looked up, saw a tall dude with sunglasses. I'm thinking, I know that guy, and oh, wait a minute, that's Jonathan. So thanks for coming back and sharing a little time with us on the program.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I'm glad to be here. We got the Paddock Mall Girls Night Out, and Jared and I'll be up on stage playing some
Blue Jays are here.
Yeah, Blue Jays are here. We're going to be playing.
In the house.
In the house. We flew all the way from Toronto, and our arms are tired.
I bet they are.
You know what? Yeah. All you had to say was Ladies' Night, Jonathan, Jerry. Okay, we're there.
We're here. We're doing this for free,
yeah.
So, you know.
So what's going on out here tonight? So for folks who just maybe, like I say, driving down I-75, and, hey, what's happening in Ocala? It's happening at the Paddock Mall, and what's going on?
This is really unique. You know, you got some really good food. You got a fashion show. You've got a local band that's going to be playing here, too. You've got Mr. Dan Martone. Dan? Or Joe?
Or Joe. Joe's the big MC.
He's MCing it.
Joe would be like, I don't know, who would be a good, Ed McMahon, Tom? Who would it be? Who would Joe be like the guy who's always the MC?
He's kind of like Bob Barker.
Bob Barker, yeah.
Chuck Woolery.
Yeah, one of those genres, yeah. And Joe Martone is doing all the MCing, and that's got to be fun.
Look at him. He's got his little white hat on. He's got his little white pump.
I'll say this.
What kind of hat is that he's wearing?
It's like a fedora?
It's like a fedora, but looks smaller, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I know this much. It'll be crazy, whatever it is.
It's going to be a great time. This is the first time you'll be able to see the Blue Jays band at Paddock Mall, and we're giving away shirts and CDs. You buy both of them for $10, and we'll sign them for you.
Nice.
We'll sign your baby. We'll sign anything.
Hey, by the way, I've been giving you shouts out now for about 2 weeks. You and other local musicians, I had a challenge for you.
Okay.
We're getting ready to go. No more recorded music on our show. Apparently, we've already gone that way because we can't call it up.
Well, what he means is,
I know. I'll explain to him. But we're going to go. We want to do. We're not going to play pop songs anymore as bumpers.
Okay.
We've got one song which is intros. It's an original song written by the former mayor of Ocala. It's time again for everybody. Anyway, that song.
Very
We
cool.
want the Blue Jays to give us even instrumental stuff.
You got it,
particularly
man.
even like. If you want to write lyrics, great, but we need like 4 or 5 instrumentals. We can have bumpers on. You know, you're playing, got the axe out, make it do a little picking, whatever. And we'd love to feature the Blue Jays and other local bands if they choose, if they can measure up. We'd love to have them because you are the official house band
Thank
of
you.
the Voice of Ocala. We adopted you a long time before you were so big.
Hey, when do I get my allowance?
It's coming up. I think Tom's got it for you. Tom, you get that $2 I gave you earlier?
no, I
left
spent
it at home.
that on the
Okay.
Red Bull at the mall.
We'll get you next time.
Hey, man, I'll tell you what. I just love this radio station. I love listening to you guys. I chime in every morning when I'm headed to work.
Mm-hmm.
And you, Tom, Joe, Dan, everyone here, this is a true, friendly, loving relationship that we've had with you guys, and we appreciate your support from
Well,
day
yeah,
one.
and as I recall, over the old place, the old studio, we had you playing right in the studio on our show in the afternoon. We said at that time, this is our house band.
Yeah.
So we don't have any music in the house.
Remember how little that studio was? And we jammed him and Jared in there with guitars and everything.
It didn't happen.
Yep.
It happened.
Angie was in there. It was
Angie was
Buddy,
dancing.
JJ, everybody.
Angie Lewis State Farm was in there dancing.
Yeah, how about this Jared, Mr. Insurance now? I saw him today at his desk, a little proper, looked like he was working.
Absolutely.
Gone totally establishment on us, and, whatever. And how about that boy?
Man, he's coming up. He's pushing forward. He's stepping his game up tonight. We're going to be dazzled out in some gear here from the mall.
Yeah?
And
Give us a hint.
there's going to be a collar, maybe a V-neck revealing. This is a fashion show, so we're going to be hip.
Neckline?
Yeah. No turtlenecks.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. So it's going to be a revealing place, as you said.
This is going to be family-oriented fun that is going to be just happening.
All right, so now tell me, where in the Paddock Mall? Because the Paddock Mall is a big place.
It is. It's very big. If you come in the backside on the food court and you walk up to Macy's, you're going to see...
You see me, first of all.
You're going to see Buddy and Tom. You're going to have to stop by and wave and say hi, like this couple that's walking by now. Look at them. Yeah.
She's working hard. She's got all kind of gear going on there. Wow. So it's already starting to happen.
It is
What time
happening.
does it start?
It starts at 5:30, and it's going to be going on until 7:30.
Jamming and hanging out, and Joe cracking jokes, no doubt about that.
Oh, man. Joe's the best.
Yeah.
I trust him.
Well, listen, you have a good night, and we'll mosey on during the break over there and check it out and see what's happening. And all you ladies enjoy yourselves, I'm sure. It'll be a good night for you, and enjoy the mall, and come by and knock on the glass and say hello to us, too. So,
all right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Jonathan Pierce. Appreciate it very much. We'll take a break. We're not going to take a break. We got 5 more minutes. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate it very much. I know you got to go to work. I'd love to have you stay, but you got to do things. I want to get back to the story time we talked about earlier about poverty. And really, I think it starts with trying to define what poverty really is. I mean, poverty to me, Tom, and you, was probably eating dog food back when we were kids. That's what we thought of. Because as long as we had a warm bed, a clean bed, a nice house, and, place to lay our head, and a good meal, and a mom or dad or both who loved us, and clean clothes. It didn't have to be great clothes.
Right.
I didn't think of being, I had no
I
idea
didn't
what poverty
fathom,
was.
and I knew we didn't have a whole lot, but we had meals every day. We had a roof over our head. I had clean clothes to go to school with. I had all that. When I hear these stories about kids that the only meal they get to eat is at school, I mean, that's poverty to me.
And that's bad. That's bad. Well, they got it broken down, Marion County poverty, the numbers here in the Star Banner today. They got it broken down by what percentage of people live here, what age group. And there's a large amount of people under 18. Well, I'm surprised Did you know that 28.2% of the people in our county are 18 or under? I didn't know that. That's the biggest group. And you think of the fact that, of course, now family.
I would have thought it was like 65 and above.
Well, here's the thing. It's hard to tell because the families are broken down. It's 14.8% families. So there are obviously multiple people. So anyway, younger than 18, 28.2% of it is it. And there are 18 to 64 people that got it broken down at 21.2. But here's the number you should care about. You can get lost in these numbers. As the Star Banner's story goes by Jim Ross and Fred Hires, 19.5% of Marion County residents lived in poverty in 2013, which is below what we call the Mendoza line. And it was 15.6% in 2009. So it has jumped since then. Do the math. It's not hard to figure out, 5% in just that short period of time. And it's become an issue. And according to the officials, including Steve Hosteray, he says we're not winning a war on poverty. He says we're not winning a war. And he operates at the thrift shop and a soup kitchen. He knows. He's on the front line. He knows what's going on out there. Here's the frightening thing, is that however poor we're getting poorer, and that's not a good thing. And I think I've talked to some people about this, and one of the biggest things is that we can't get jobs for people, or those people are not trained for those jobs. I'm glad to hear Kevin Shealy talk about it from the CEP when he said we need more jobs and not minimum wage jobs. We need jobs of $10 or more an hour at least. I mean, as you know, Seattle's got like $13 as their minimum wage anymore. It's about going to be eventually. So we've got to have jobs, opportunities, training, and of course, a lot of it. Medical care is really, that's a difficult thing, medical care. So it's not a good sign. As much as we like to talk about what a great community we live in, and we do, how much we love it, how much we take care of our people, which we do, that's a statistic you cannot deny, is that we are now 1 out of 5 people are living in poverty in this county. Now, is it just me, or does that alarm you?
I would like to see all the data, because I know that in past times when I've read data like this, it doesn't take into effect the non-paycheck type money that families get in. And when I say this, say what you want, there's a large influx of cash type transactions that take place with families that are technically below the poverty level, but the breadwinner in that family is selling something black market style, and that's how they're making their money. So technically they're on the poverty level, but if you really looked at how much cash they had on hand, they may have a lot more cash than you or I have, but technically they're at the poverty level. So you got to look at those kind of things, and those come through, whether we like to admit it or not, those come through criminal records and stuff. But anything above 10%, and I promise that the element I'm talking about isn't 10% of this number. Anything above 10% is a lot.
I know what you're saying. It's a drug culture, among other things, and there's no doubt about there's a hidden secret economy here.
There is.
There are a lot of people who work off the books for cash. I understand that. It's illegal, by the way, just in case you know everybody.
It's illegal.
But it doesn't change this fact. And you're right. The data could be skewed. But here's what it does.
Not by that much.
This is the U.S. Census Bureau here now, and this is a story that they wrote today in the Star Banner, is that they're going to release the whole latest unemployment figures on Friday. But here's a guy, William Taylor, 46, out-of-work iron worker who used to build bridges in Florida, lives at the Salvation Army Shelter in Marion County. And he says, it doesn't surprise me a bit. He says the census data, he says, it's the economy. So it hasn't improved. It's gotten worse. And that is really the essence of it. It's not. The fact is our economy has not gotten better at that level. It's also endemic with what's happening in America, where the rich are getting richer. They're getting richer.
Well, a lot
and
of
the poor are getting poorer, and the middle class is kind of just getting stretched both ways.
A lot of the labor-intensive jobs have not come back after the downturn, and that's where a lot of these people that are at poverty level were the jobs they had. And like you said, and like Kevin Shealy says, we have to retrain a large portion of America to go get better paying jobs, and that comes at a price too.
Yeah. Nobody wants to see or give handouts, and the people who don't want the handouts, unless they're starving to death. They want to be able to earn their money. It's just, survey after survey has proven that people think, oh, they're lazy, you want to have it. No, they don't want
I would say, I'd agree with you, the large majority of people
they want to work.
Do not want charity and handouts.
And that's a myth. People say that.
People say, they'll line up to get whatever they can for free. The large majority of people, their pride wouldn't allow them to do that.
And you've heard the stories, and I've heard the stories, and I've seen it, where you see people in line at the grocery store, they got all kind of things that, whether it's wine or whatever, they got food stamps, whatever, and they're paying for food stamps. And I know those things exist.
Well, they can't play with alcohol.
But I mean, the point is they're buying awful of things that you wouldn't buy or I wouldn't buy.
Right.
But they got food stamps, and that's what doesn't jive with people. But believe me, there are a lot of families out there who are hungry, who need those food stamps just to exist.
Certainly.
So anyway, it's just a perplexing problem. We like to talk about positive things here. We like to talk about how great our county is. I want to make sure we get real with what we're talking about here. And anytime you see a story where you say, we slipped in the poverty level to 5%, that's not a good story. It's something that I hope we can work on in our community because, as much as we take care of the least people in our community, that's how good a community we are. We have to take care of everybody. We'll take a break, come back. We've got, I don't know who's going to play Fake or Facto. We should have gotten Jonathan to hang around. Somebody come play with Tom or call us at 622-9622. Fake or Facto with Tom Smith right here on the Voice of Ocala.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Located next door to Silver Spring State Park and a few minutes from historic downtown Ocala, our award-winning Holiday Inn Express Hotel and Suites of Silver Springs is a place to stay for a friendly, memorable, and fun experience. Enjoy our fast and free Wi-Fi, complimentary hot breakfast, and free parking. Whether you're in town for work or play, our friendly staff will make you feel right at home. That's the Holiday Inn Express and Suites of Silver Springs, proud sponsor of Friday night Marion County High School football on WOCA, The Source.
My name is Bo Briggs. I'm a sixth-generation Ocalan, and I practice law with my father at the Briggs Law Firm. Over the years, we've seen many changes to Ocala and many changes in our profession. What has not changed is our commitment to our clients. You will speak with and get to know your attorney. That will never change. A lawyer will personally handle your case, not a paralegal. So if you've been injured in an accident and would appreciate personal attention, you can reach us at 671-4600 or learn more at thebriggslawfirm.com.
If you need a sign or a banner for your yard or your business or your campaign, I'd recommend you go to Signs Unlimited at 318 South Magnolia in Ocala. Screen printing, embroidery, digital graphics. Do what I did when we needed signs for the Save the Marion Theater Group. Go see Vic Buttermore at Signs Unlimited if you want quality work with a fast turnaround from somebody who is deeply committed to his community and always ready to assist you. There's a reason Vic's slogan is, "It's our business to make your business better." Sign up for Signs Unlimited. Call 732-7341 today. Terry Bradshaw Football Show is brought to you by Eat and Speed Sandbar and Grill. Seating now available. Try their delicious Louisiana style of cooking. By Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood, one of North Central Florida's finest eating establishments. By La Cuisine, the charming setting of historic Ocala. Imagine yourself in a Parisian bistro. By Prestige Auto Sales of Ocala and Bellevue. Go see why they call Chris Spears the Yes Man. And by Gateway Bank, your new old-fashioned bank and great patron of the community activities.
On the next AM Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Jim George. He's the owner of American Cable Services.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite-sized.
And then the Equine Alliance of Marion County will be in the studio with their program, Horse Sense.
Join Kelly Fuqua-Hart, the executive editor of Ocala Magazine, on Ocala Magazine Radio.
And then Dr. David Hastings, a professor of marine science and chemistry at Eckerd College in St. Petersburg, is coming out to speak about the impact of climate change on the state of Florida and the costs of doing nothing to reduce carbon pollution.
Robert Castillo is an award-winning director, animator, illustrator, and storyboard artist who created storyboards for The Sopranos, Precious, Everyone's Hero, VH1, and Court TV, and he'll be on the air speaking about how to break into being a professional illustrator.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next AM Ocala Live right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM.
1370 AM.
Now is the time to take advantage of Florida Credit Union's CD specials. Our 36-month CD comes in at 1.26% APY. A 24-month is working for you at 1.0% APY. And our 12-month at 0.75% APY. All CD rate specials require $10,000 minimum. With friendly service and rates like these, it's not hard to see why Florida Credit Union has your CD options covered. Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life. Call 352-237-8222 for more information. Must act by 1/15/14.
News Talk 1370 WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
All right, back to Voice of Ocala. Now we've got a sucker. We got a person here to play Fake or Fact. He does pretty good on this show. Pretty good on this. He's a pretty good, worthy opponent. So, Fake or Factoid. Dan Martone, working hard in the back room on something. He's always working on something. Now has agreed to come in and mow down Tom Schmitz on Fake or Factoid. Gentlemen, are you ready?
We are. Maybe.
Number one.
I don't know. You ready, Tom?
Fake or Factoid. Snowflakes are triple layered in their final form.
Fact. Fake.
Tom says fact. Dan says fake. Score one for Dan. It's fake. One up. There we go. Number two. Raindrops aren't actually tear-shaped. They're rounded at the top and flat on the bottom.
Fact. Fact.
Both say fact. Both correct. Number three, sleet travels at speeds up to 75 miles per hour.
Fake.
Fact. Fake and fact. Tom says fact. Tom is wrong. Dan is correct. Dan leads 2-0. We're coming down.
I just had to go opposite.
They're just not heavy enough, I didn't think. To go
all right, so I'll let Dan go first and give you a chance to. All right, number four. Bill Gates has saved over 6 million lives by providing people with the funds for vaccines and better health care.
That's subjective, but we'll go fact.
Fake.
Ball game. It's fact.
I had to go fact.
Sure she did. All right, who wants to get the number? Let's see how good you guys are.
All
right, New York State.
Oh, may I go first?
You both think of your numbers in your mind. You write them down.
Oh, we write them down. Okay.
And then I ask you, because that way you can't go over and under both. Here we go. New York State contains how many miles of shoreline?
New York State.
New York State contains how many miles of shoreline?
I got my number written down.
I'm trying to get to my memo pad for.
Just go ahead and say it, Dan. I won't change it.
Okay, 62.
62 miles of shoreline. Okay.
I went with 848.
Tom wins the number because it's 571.
Wow.
So in case you want to know that. You think of New York as being like concrete and all that sort of stuff, but it's got a lot of shoreline too.
That is a lot of shoreline.
All right, Dan, you're the champion. You can go around. Here's a T-shirt that says "I beat the Tribinator."
Okay, thank you
Wear
very
it
much.
well.
I appreciate that. I will.
It's a small, right?
You can leave now.
I can.
Dan Martone. All right.
I know. He turned my mic off.
I control the mic.
That's harsh, man.
He's got a problem. You know, he doesn't like to get beat. You know. Thanks, Dan. Coming up next, Buddy Martin's sports page. We got lots to talk about in the world of sports, including Joey is right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on the Source.
Redford had, but you walked across my heart like it was Texas, and you taught me how to say.
Nestled in the heart of horse country, just off I-75 exit 354, the award-winning and newly refreshed Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala invites you to pamper yourself in one of our comfy guest rooms. Enjoy our free and fast Wi-Fi, heated outdoor swimming pool, 24-hour fitness center, and our deluxe continental breakfast. Other on-site amenities include a restaurant, putt-putt golf, and a car wash. Go happy, go Hojo at the Howard Johnson Inn of Ocala, proud sponsor of Friday Night High School football on WOCA, The Source.
Here in Florida, when you're looking to go to the beach, you've got hundreds of options. Theme parks, no shortage of options there either. But when it comes to home insurance, most companies have only one option. Allstate is different. Here in Florida, Allstate agents offer home insurance options from several companies, so they can help you get the coverage that's right for you. And they'll help you save on quality car insurance, too. For starters, safe drivers save 45% with Allstate. So before you settle for just one option, talk to someone with many home and car insurance options. Your local Allstate agent. Are you in good hands?
Hi, this is Kevin McDonald, your local Allstate agent. To get your quote, please call us at 622-2333 or stop by one of our 2 Ocala locations.
Allstate has no financial responsibility to you for any home insurance policy you purchase and would not be responsible for any claims. Allstate does not make any representations or accept liability related to operations of home insurance companies, including but not limited to their financial conditions. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.thebriggs Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
Look who just walked in the room. Joel Wiesner from What's Up Ocala. Hey, Joel, I'm looking for something to do this weekend. You got any ideas?
Absolutely. Check out our event calendar online at www.whatsupocala.com, and there is plenty of events there for you. Daily news updates to event reviews and magazine articles.
Really?
We've organized it all in one place online for you to cut through all of the hassle of finding something to do this weekend. We have a daily event calendar, a bi-monthly magazine, and we also do daily news articles.
All right, Joel, that's perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah. Whatsupocala.com.
Hey, it's Christy with Ocala Mac and PC Repair and Ocala Guest Wi-Fi to let you know we have you covered. We are the only local certified Apple and Microsoft computer company in Ocala. We are family owned and operated. From mobile repair to wireless networks, viruses, new systems, or security cameras, we do it all. Check us out online, ocalamacpc.com, or give us a call, 352-566-8324.
Tell them Nick, Madison, or Mason sent you and get free diagnostic.
Get your internet telephone service from the company that brought affordable internet service to Ocala in the first place. All is Safe is a sister company of Ocala Guest Wi-Fi, a company you've known and trusted for all your internet needs. Whether you need a phone or hundreds, we've got the products and services to meet your needs both now and in the future. Our plans include everything from local and long-distance calling to equipment maintenance and even software upgrades. You can count on All is Safe to give you cost certainty knowing that your bill will be the same next week, next month, or even next year. Call 352-450-8647 today to learn how to cut your monthly telephone bill up to 60%.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. The Senate about to vote on arming and training moderate Syrian rebels, as the president's spokesman is asked again to clarify the official position on combat troops.
What happens, basically, if U.S. troops who are alongside Iraqi troops get fired upon by ISIS militants? Are they in combat or not? Josh Earnest basically suggested they're not in combat, but they'd have rules of engagement that would allow them to fire back at ISIS.
Fox's Ed Henry polls about to close in Scotland, where 80% of registered voters cast ballots on whether to break away from Great Britain.
The overall result is expected early tomorrow morning here. That's overnight U.S. time.
Fox Radio, Simon Owens. The Dow up 109, ending the day at 17,266. Another record close. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Sending important work files as regular attachments is a big risk. You lose control the moment you hit send. That's why millions of professionals rely on Citrix ShareFile, the easy-to-use business solution for exchanging files quickly and securely. With ShareFile, send files of almost any size without bounce backs. Files are encrypted and remain under your control. Try Citrix ShareFile free for 30 days. Go to sharefile.com, click the microphone at the top of the homepage and enter information. That's sharefile.com, type in information.
Know-how! Your garage is filled with awesome things, like your collection of unused sporting goods and an odd assortment of scrap lumber. Dump it all. You'll need the room, because Napa has Mobil 1 synthetic oil for $5.99 a quart. Yep, for $5.99 a quart, you can fill your garage with Mobil 1. Now that's a good use of space. Conquer the job with Napa Know-how. General states pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees. At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 9/30/14.
How much time? 30 seconds. I'm on right now. I don't believe you.
Okay. Enough kidding around.
Ho, 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 ho. Ho, ho.
And now it's time for the Buddy Martin Sports Page.
He actually had me stay here last night in his gym.
It's like I don't fit in. It's like I don't belong here.
Let's go talk to a couple of guys that never gamble.
Oh, see, I made Lewis a bet here. See, Lewis bet me that we couldn't both get rich and put you on the phone house at the same time. He didn't think we could do it.
Gambling is illegal at Bushwood, sir, and I never slide.
And now, here's Buddy.
Welcome to the Sports Page on a Thursday, getting close to the weekend here. Things going on and lots of football to talk about. I'm looking at my charts and graphs and reading material on the line and trying to figure out what's going to happen this weekend in Tuscaloosa. And all I can say is it's not good for the Gators, how I look at it at this point in time. But maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? Joe Williams will join us at 5:40. He of the Chicken Man suit. And we will break it a few games down. And that was one of them we talked about today on his show. I did it in Denver today. He asked me, does Florida have a chance against Alabama? That was the question. So we'll answer that at 5:40 with Joe. Franz Beard joins us at 5:20. He's from FightingGators.com. Franz, a veteran scribe, as we say, has seen lots and lots of Florida-Alabama games, and will give us his thoughts about this one. And, of course, it's football tonight. Fairly good for us down south, at least. The Tampa Bay-Atlanta Falcon game is one of interest tonight. I'll watch that. But I'm more interested in how Auburn plays against Kansas State. In a game, as you pointed out in our show coming up at 6 o'clock tonight on Southern Pigskin tonight, could be a trap. Getting your eyes on the wrong things this time of year can get you in trouble. And Bill Snyder's been known to set booby traps out there in Manhattan, Kansas. It's a dangerous time, dangerous place for Auburn, but we'll see. We'll talk about that. We'll break it down for you a little bit later on. So don't forget tonight, we got Buddy Sports Page, and we tee it up right at 6 o'clock for the Southern Pigskin Tonight Show. As we're speaking now, the folks up in Georgia, Tom, in Brunswick and Savannah and Hilton Head and Waycross, this show is playing already. Yeah, turn your mic on.
Turn mic on. Southern Pigskin tonight is playing.
Yeah, so it's playing. But anyway, it features Terry Bradshaw, his best stuff yet. And Matt Hayes, the Sporting News. We've got a couple of local Gator guys that will give us their take on the Tuscaloosa situation. Brady Ackerman, Gator Radio Network, and Matt Hayes and Robbie Andrew of the Gainesville Sun will be on the program tonight. So as we set the table for a weekend of football, and meanwhile, Tom Schmitz did a very fine job of editing and producing the Southern Big Skin radio program tonight, has headlines for us.
Yeah, buddy. The bad news for the NFL keeps coming. Arizona running back Jonathan Dwyer headbutted his wife and broke her nose after she refused his sexual advances. He punched her in the face the next day. The details surfaced in a law enforcement report a day after Dwyer was arrested on aggravated assault charges and deactivated from all team activities after he was taken in custody at the Cardinals practice facility and headquarters in Tempe. He spent the night in jail, made a brief court appearance before being released on $25,000 bond. So another case of football rage. And I heard somebody say yesterday, yes, but when you look at it, it's only about half as many instances as there are in regular life. And I thought, somebody missed the point when they came up with that stat.
Yeah, that stat's meaningless. And by the way, at this point in time, it's so pathetic what's happening. And you'll hear Terry Bradshaw's comments tonight about what he thinks about it, that you don't know where to turn. You almost look for some kind of comic relief somewhere, or something, because it's gruesome. And the only thing I saw that I will say, and I'm not laughing at the situation, is the sports pickle.
Yeah.
What do you hear what they had to say? It's worth a laugh. I'll tell you after the news.
Right. The Royal and Ancient Golf Club at St. Andrews is no longer just for men, according to the AP. The spiritual home of golf became the latest club to end years of male-only exclusivity on Thursday when its members voted overwhelmingly in favor of women to join. The vote was effective immediately. I can confirm the Royal and Ancient of St. Andrews is now a mixed membership club, R&A Secretary Peter Dawson said in a brief statement. So the Royal and Ancient finally into the 21st century, buddy.
Yeah, about 20 years too late.
Tiger Woods says thinks he knows who his next swing coach might be.
Okay.
It's going to be Tiger Woods. Woods posted a blog on his website Thursday, said there was no hard and set rule on finding a new swing coach. He parted ways with Sean Foley last month after 2 years. Woods says, I think I know enough about the game and my swing. I could probably coach myself. Reminds me of what's the old adage? The lawyer that represents his own self in court or something. The Los Angeles Angels are the winners of the AL West. They spent an hour after their shutout over Seattle last night waiting with their eyes glued to the television to see Oakland blow a ninth-inning lead. And so the Angels, for the first time since 2009, AL West clinched the AL West. And finally,
Albert Pujols finally gets vindicated.
Right. And finally, we now know why the sudden departure of Texas manager Ron Washington. Ron Washington said Thursday that he resigned earlier this month because he had been untrue to his wife. I was not true to my wife after 42 years, Washington said as his wife Jerry sat nearby during the news conference. I broke her trust. I'm here today to own that mistake and apologize to her. Today I'm at a very low time in my life. I'm sorry for breaking the trust I had with my wife and for disappointing my players, for disappointing my coaches and Major League Baseball, and for disappointing the Texas Rangers. After making a statement, Washington stepped off the small stage, put his arm around his wife, and they walked off together. So I guess the personal reasons now we know Ron Washington untrue to his wife. I don't know. Can you take from that untrue and unfaithful to mean the same thing?
I think so.
Okay.
And that you don't hear much. When's the last time you ever heard of a guy resigning from his job
because he's
unfaithful to his wife? You just don't hear it.
No.
And
Ron Washington's old school, though.
He is. And I really thought and feared, and not that this is good, don't get me wrong, that he'd gone back on
to the dark side with alcohol and drugs.
Right, yeah. Which is one of the problems he had. So, good for him for addressing the problem, facing up to it, owning up. That's got to be a tough thing for him and his wife.
That's a real, that's one of those subjects that if you come out public with it, you got to have a strong relationship.
Is there anybody who got a sense of humor left anymore in sports? I mean, my goodness, every time I turn around to something else. Thank goodness for Bradshaw.
Yeah,
he makes us laugh every week.
He does.
He's just every time he just makes us chuckle. All the time.
He's like what's the line in the Seinfeld sitcom? He's gold, Jerry, just gold.
Yeah, he's gold. He's crazy, and he always comes at the most time when you don't expect it. Here's a kind of I thought this was funny headline on the this is the sports version of the Onion,
right?
But Sports Pickle,
right?
Headline: President Obama orders targeted airstrikes on NFL teams.
See, now that is
it says, President Obama today authorized U.S. military campaign against the NFL, authorizing U.S. airstrikes of the NFL headquarters along with their expanded airstrikes in NFL cities as he vowed to wipe out the league's criminals wherever they exist. It's not a funny
cheek, folks.
It's not a funny subject. It's just a funny way.
We're not making light of war or terrorism.
You kind of
all,
think
but
that way after a while. Yes, bomb them. I'm gonna do something here, for crying out loud.
Well, the Dwyer story just Jonathan Dwyer just makes it doubly. We already had these bad stories, and then here he comes out. He headbutted his wife, broke her nose, and then the next morning was still so angry at her, he punched her in the face, and then threw a boot at an 18-month-old child.
Is it fair to say that Ray Rice opened the Pandora's box?
Yes.
And guess what? This won't be the last of it.
It was kind of like, remember people hated Jose Canseco because he opened the Pandora's box of steroids? And everybody says, oh, he was a liar and blah, blah, blah. Well, now Jose Canseco looks like the least problem.
It's like a prophet.
Exactly. Well, Ray Rice is not a prophet, but Ray Rice's actions turned a light onto it. And like I forget, was it Greg Graham? Somebody said last week when we had him on it was Mike Bianchi, said last week when we had him on the radio, the only thing that he can see that there's good about this is the national narrative has brought out the seriousness and the amount of domestic abuse there is in this country.
He interviewed a person who was involved with domestic violence, and they told Bianchi that.
Right.
And we talked about it on the show with the sheriff and the chief too. So we're talking about it. I just don't want to talk so much about it. I don't want to talk so much about it on sports.
But I like to think there maybe are some women out there who have said, you know what? I can get out of this. And that during the last couple of weeks have said, you know what, that sounds like my life, and I'm tired of it. I want to get out.
It's not okay for me to get beat up, and that's what you want to hear. And think about this, Tom. How long has this been going on that we have been hearing about it?
Well, I know Meredith Vieira had a very moving thing on the Today Show today about how she said, you don't understand. You're scared and frightened because when you go out by yourself, now your whole life has to start over, and you were dependent on this person. This person, they're the person that beats you, but a lot of times they're also the person that's providing the income that for the life you live. And I think in Janae Rice's situation, Ray Rice is the breadwinner. I mean, millions of dollars. She loses if she leaves him, but is millions of dollars worth her safety? I think not.
Yeah, final thought on this, and we'll move on to other things. That is that when you got high-performance athletes playing a violent sport who are taking every substance they can take that's legal to play at an optimum level.
And some illegal.
And under great duress and strain, which they are. Why should we be surprised when they become violent off the field? Think about that. If you took a lion out of a cage, you think he'd be I mean, or the wild, would he be all right?
You'd like to think that they could turn it off outside the white
but by
line.
nature, don't you think there's a danger zone there? You don't have to answer the question. It's a rhetorical question, all right?
I don't know. I'm not. Well, yeah.
Like I said, it's a rhetorical question.
When I played football, you're right. I was quite the violent person away from the field.
It's just a rhetorical question to think about. It doesn't require an answer, all right? We'll take a break, come back. Franz Beard joins us talking Florida, Alabama. Coming up in Tuscaloosa this weekend. Franz Beard next on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Right on the southwestern corner of the square sits one of the finest dining establishments in Florida, Mark's Prime Steakhouse and Seafood Restaurant. Mark's offers big city dining amenities in a charming and small town setting. It's a rare treat to experience both the ambiance and the exquisite cuisine in a friendly atmosphere. Ocala's finest restaurant serves the finest beef, the freshest seafood, premium wines, and naturally fresh vegetables. From valet parking to splendid service, Mark's offers the complete package. Check it out today. Mark's Prime Seafood and Steakhouse Restaurant.
Requires bank approval. Vehicle purchase process effects trade allowance.
Fumble.
I was so busy making my fantasy football picks that I forgot to stock up on inventory, and now I need cars fast. So I'm calling for an inventory blitz. Chris Spears here from Prestige Auto Sales. This month, bring me in your old car, and you could score the nicer, newer ride you've been fantasizing about for just $10 down.
Sack your old car.
And start driving the nicer, newer car of your dreams for just $10 down. Don't get fouled by past credit problems.
Our For the People credit approval process is the game changer you've been waiting for.
We huddle up the banks and lenders to help you get approved and back in the game. So stop driving a car you hate.
Punt it and drive a nicer, newer car for just $10 down today.
I'm throwing in a Hail Mary to make my month, and I need your help. Trade in your old car, and you could drive for just $10 down. But don't wait till the clock runs out. This deal is over when my inventory is full. I'm Chris Spears, and I'm a dealer for the people.
Visit us at Prestige Auto Sales or call 694-1234. Yes, 694-1234. See you at Prestige.
Imagine yourself in a quaint bistro right in the heart of a charming French village about to indulge in real French cuisine. Located in beautiful, vibrant downtown Ocala, La Cuisine offers authentic French cuisine and wine from an award-winning menu. Patrice and Elodie moved to Ocala in 2009 because they fell in love with it. And you're going to fall in love with La Cuisine if you haven't already. La Cuisine offers a quick bite for lunch or a leisurely dinner in a comfortable and relaxed setting. So call La Cuisine of Ocala today at 352-433-2570. It's like a direct call to Paris.
This is Allstate Agent Kevin McDonald, and our agency is a proud sponsor of the Marion County Friday Night High School Football Game of the Week. I grew up in Ocala, and I'm proud to support high school athletics throughout Marion County. For all your insurance and employee benefit needs, contact the McDonald Agency at 622-2333. Our agency has been a proud member of the Ocala-Marion County community since 1985, with offices in Ocala and the Villages.
WOCA. This is the Salvation Army, and I'm Major George Patterson to let you know that the Salvation Army is available 24 hours a day to provide help to anyone. We also have a family store at 120 Northwest 10th Street in Ocala. On Tuesday to Saturday from 9 to 4, you can do your shopping, or if you want to donate, you can call 352-732-4469, and we'll even pick up 352-732-4469. All funds generated by our store go into the programs here in Marion County to help the needy.
Hi, Danny Warfel here. Get moving with Florida Credit Union's fast and easy loan approval process.
Let Florida Credit Union start up a new car loan for you today. No more waiting, hassles, or stop signs. You can even apply online. With a strong financial team behind you, you can enjoy great rates and fast approvals.
It's all about personalized service and a streamlined process.
Florida Credit Union, connecting your money to your life.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Fredericks Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Fredericks Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Fredericks Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Fredericks Appliance.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information-hungry, better educated, high-income adults. So use us to talk to them. Call 732-8000. 732-8000. We're Ocala News Talk Radio. News Talk 1370 WOCA.
Taking a look at this picture that Terry Bradshaw sent me. It looks like this is a drone picture of his house in Hawaii, which is awesome. TV, I'm available, buddy. Anytime you want to go out there, I'll be able to do yard work, whatever.
I bet you would.
Hey, you got a big gig tonight. You're stepping up to the big time, man. You come a long way, man, in the last couple of years.
Yeah,
now you're big Mr. Speaker going to Gainesville.
I'm working the drive-through at McDonald's in Gainesville. I'll be on the drive-through headset at McDonald's in Gainesville.
It could be worse. It could be some other place besides McDonald's. Now, going to speak tonight to a group of a STEAM group in Gainesville, and
at
you'll
the Paramount Hotel and Conference Center.
Yeah, right there on 13th Street when you come in.
Fighting Gator Touchdown Club tonight about 7:30.
That's a good bunch.
Good bunch of guys. I know Jason White, who sets up the speakers, come and asked me if I would be willing to speak, and I said, yeah, I don't know why. I don't see why not. So I'm following. Last week they had David Lamb, so I'm following right after a guy that
your father.
See, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
but good bunch of guys with the Fighting Gator touchdown.
What are you going to tell them?
I'm going to give them 5 ways Florida could actually win this weekend.
I just settled for 1.
Well, it's going to take 5.
First would be a miracle, number 1.
There's got a collection to pay off the referees.
Yeah, that's number 2. Actually, that's a pretty good list. Actually, the way it is, yeah, right. Nick Saban gets sick and then comes to the game.
Nick. Somehow the Alabama football players, come down with a bad flu or something.
Jacob Coker and Blake Sims hit by a truck.
No, I don't wish nobody.
No, I'm not saying
hit by a
it happened. I'm just saying there's the ways it could happen.
The ways it could happen.
Yeah, or possibly Alabama football team.
Boy, speaking of Coker.
Speaking of which, what if they just don't show up? Alabama team. That would be one way.
Speaking of Coker, boy, I bet Jimbo Fisher wishes he had him back now.
Well, in the first half, I think they'll be all right against Clemson. Yeah. But you're right. Coker may get what I'm hearing from Five Bomb's show that he may get some action. So Coker may go in the game against Florida. So that'll be one. But I think everybody's going to wait to see Coker. When the season started, most people thought Jacob Coker, or Jake as they call him, Coker, who transferred from Florida State, would be the quarterback. I read from the preseason magazine, which I bought in July, Lindy's, and it says at the bottom, top newcomer goes on to talk about how Jacob Coker could become the starting quarterback over Blake Sims. And I think that was, generally speaking, that was the prevailing thought, that Coker would win the job. And then when Lane Kiffin decided, he and Nick Saban, to go with Blake Sims, obviously it didn't happen. So
trying to get Fran's beard, and I get a very strange message.
Oh, no. He said he was available. So
well, I just tried to call it. It gave me a very strange message.
All right. Anyway, we'll keep trying.
I'll try.
And, coming up 5:40, Joe Williams will join us from Mile High Sports. Anyway, looking over this story, the preseason story, and I went through and picked every game of every team in the SEC, just for the heck of it, to see where I thought they wind up. For instance, I in the SEC East, I had Florida going 8-4, Georgia going 9-3. So, and then I had Alabama going 10-2. I'm sorry, South Carolina going 10-2, Alabama going 11-1. So I picked the games and picked the teams, and right now it's kind of playing out like I thought, although nobody had Texas A&M figured in there to beat South Carolina. But anyway, as I said, it would take a miracle Saturday in Tuscaloosa for the Florida Gators to beat Alabama. Let's go to France Beer from FightGators.com and see what he thinks. France, what do you think? Any chance?
Well, there's always a chance. Nobody gave the Gators a chance in 1963 either, and you remember Haygood Clark just about decapitating Benny Nelson on the opening kickoff, set the stage for a 10-6 Florida win. Nobody gave the Gators a chance that day either, and that was against an Alabama team which probably had a bigger physical advantage over those Gators than this Alabama team has over
and
these
the following
Gators.
year, they won the national championship, by the way, in 64. So, yeah.
Well, Florida's win derailed Alabama and kept Alabama from winning the 63 national championship.
Yeah, I do remember that, but I'm not feeling it, France. I'm not feeling it.
Well, I don't feel it either, but I do say, it's possible. Nobody felt that Florida could win in 63 either. No. Nobody feels they can win right now.
Well, I love your positive attitude, and I think one of the problems the Gators got right now is that I've never heard such moaning and groaning about the Kentucky win over Kentucky. We talked about that a little bit on Monday, and I'm not saying that this team is going to go south. Here's what I worry about, and you tell me what you think. This is the beginning of a 5-game stretch that could be a Waterloo for this team. Physically, and after they get through playing Georgia on a 5-game stretch, it starts out with Alabama. This team is going to be like fighting a heavyweight champion every month, every day for a month. They're just going to physically be beaten up. Now, if they come out of this thing, as I said Monday, with a 10-point loss and no more than a couple of injuries, I think they probably did okay, and they can survive and maybe win. Maybe they can win two of those 5 games. What do you think?
Well, I think that's a fair assessment, and you got to remember something. LSU, everybody was saying at the beginning of the season, well, LSU is in such a rebuilding mode, and they're playing the Gators in Gainesville, so that's going to be a winnable game. I'm not so sure that LSU isn't as good or better than they were last year.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Now that talent is young, but my gosh, they've pitched 2 consecutive shutouts here on the defense, and it's all young talent on the defense. And my gosh, they've got some weapons that can run like crazy on the offensive side. That's another game. And you look at that, you've got other games you got to play in there that there are no breaks. Tennessee's improved. They got to play Tennessee in Knoxville, and my gosh, Tennessee hasn't beaten the Gators since 2004. Oh my gosh! This would be a paint the city red and storm the fields, tear down the goalposts, and celebrate for a week win if they could beat the Gators.
Yeah, to sum it up, I think what happened is the Gator fans got to hope for a little of that Spurrier of magic he had at Williams-Brice on Saturday when they beat Georgia. They got to have breaks, got to play optimum, and Jeff Driscoll's got to prove he is ready to go up against a big boy football team and lead the team to victory.
Important stat: since beating FSU in 2012, Driscoll has thrown 7 touchdown passes, 6 interceptions, and has a quarterback efficiency rating of 128.6. Not really optimistic about that.
Talking with Franz Beard. Franz, when I look at this schedule, you talked about Tennessee, you talked about LSU. Everybody knows Georgia. South Carolina's still there. Alabama's still there. The one team nobody seems to want to talk about is the East champion last year, Missouri.
Missouri is very, very much improved. They've got maybe as good a pass rush as there is in the country on the outside. They lost Michael Sam and Coney Ely, who was a second-round draft pick last year. These 2 defensive ends they're starting are better than those 2 guys. And I'll tell you what, Shane Ray and Marcus Golden are going to make life miserable for everybody on their schedule. If their tackles can hold up in the middle of that defense, they're going to be right there until the end in the SEC East.
All right, Franz, you got 10 seconds. Pick the game on Saturday real quick.
I like Alabama to win, but it may be closer than the 15-point spread that's out there.
All right, so you're going to go, you're taking the points. All right, Franz Beard of FightingGator.com. I hear the music. Appreciate it. We'll talk to you on Monday, and we'll find out whether you're right or not. All right. Franz Beard coming up after the break. Joe Williams, Mile High Sports, joins us to pick a few other football games right here on Buddy Sports Page.
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
If you feel like that's what you want to do, bring me down. Can't none bring me down.
Being the Culligan Man is not easy because he works hard every day for you here in North Central Florida. Whether you need bottled water delivery for your office, a home water softener, or water infiltration system, the Culligan Man can help you. At Culligan, North Florida, we have dozens of softener and filtration options, along with a host of media tank sizes. Depending on the exact hardness and usage of your water, we determine the size of softener you're going to need. And if you're on city or well water in one of our local areas, the in-home water analysis is absolutely free. If your needs are for the home, call Ocala Water Conditioning, 352-291-5900. For home or business bottled water in Ocala, call Ocala Bottled Water, 352-291-5900. Culligan of North Florida, a proud sponsor of Florida State football, heard right here on WOCA, The Source.
Hi, this is Lisa Midget, owner of the Properties Salon in downtown Ocala. Here in Florida, we're all about summertime fun, but along with the warm weather comes humidity, which leads to the dreaded frizzies. Are you tired of checking the weather report every morning before deciding to flat iron your hair? Sick of looking like the Lion King every day by noon? Has God just not seen fit to answer your prayers for patience and silky, frizz-free hair? Well, your troubles are over. Come to the Properties Salon for one of our hair smoothing systems, specializing in Peter Coppola and Cezanne keratin smoothing treatments, the Proper Teeth Salon can tame your unruly locks with these formaldehyde-free formulas. And with the discount code BuddyRocks, you will save 20%. Not fighting the frizzies? Mention the same code BuddyRocks to save 20% off one of our many services such as cuts, color, extensions, and manis and petties. Gentlemen, this special is not just for the ladies. We do great cuts and color for men too. Check us out at thepropertees.com for more information.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. The Senate about to vote on arming and training moderate Syrian rebels, as the president's spokesman is asked again to clarify the official position on combat troops.
What happens, basically, if U.S. troops who are alongside Iraqi troops get fired upon by ISIS militants? Are they in combat or not? Josh Earnest basically suggested they're not in combat, but they'd have rules of engagement that would allow them to fire back at ISIS.
Fox's Ed Henry polls about to close in Scotland, where 80% of registered voters cast ballots on whether to break away from Great Britain.
The overall result is expected early tomorrow morning here. That's overnight U.S. time.
Fox Radio, Simon Owens. The Dow up 109, ending the day at 17,266. Another record close. Fox News. We report, you decide.
Sending important work files as regular attachments is a big risk. You lose control the moment you hit send. That's why millions of professionals rely on Citrix ShareFile, the easy-to-use business solution for exchanging files quickly and securely. With ShareFile, send files of almost any size without bounce backs. Files are encrypted and remain under your control. Try Citrix ShareFile free for 30 days. Go to sharefile.com, click the microphone at the top of the homepage and enter information. That's sharefile.com, type in information.
Know-how! Your garage is filled with awesome things, like your collection of unused sporting goods and an odd assortment of scrap lumber. Dump it all. You'll need the room, because Napa has Mobile One synthetic oil for $5.99 a quart. Yep, for $5.99 a quart, you can fill your garage with Mobile One. Now that's a good use of space. Conquer the job with Napa Know-how. General States pricing. Sales prices do not include applicable state, local taxes, or recycling fees at participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 9/30/14.
Are you tired of not using your home's outdoor space for entertaining or relaxation because of all the bugs and leaves? Consider adding a beautiful screen room or glass enclosure. We are Superior Aluminum and Design, a family-owned and operated business with 20 years experience in the aluminum industry, and we are accredited by the Better Business Bureau. If you appreciate superior workmanship, call Superior Aluminum and Design at 817-8058 or visit us on the web at superiораluminumdesign.com.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
If you make it past year 7, odds are very high you'll probably stay together forever. Couples are usually into a groove and know what their lives together will be like as they move forward. A sugar-packed diet will destroy the collagen and elastin in your skin. That leads to wrinkles. Taking a vacation from our social networking sites is just as important as taking a vacation from our jobs.
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Hey, I'm Gary. And I'm Eric. Did you know that Red Eye Radio is on WOCA The Source every night from 2 to 6 a.m. and it's live?
That's right. No tape shows here.
We know that the news doesn't sleep.
And neither do we. So we're here with you live from 2 till 6 a.m. every weekday. Call us 866-90-RED-EYE. So join me, Gary McNamara.
And me, Eric Harley, every weeknight to discuss the latest in news and entertainment.
Right here on WOCA The Source.
Hey, Matt, I know Sunrise Automotive does auto stuff, but I need some tires for my truck. Can you recommend someone?
Yes, I can. We do that.
No, I mean, I need them installed and balanced and all that.
Yep, we do that.
Well, my son needed his windows tinted.
Yep, we do that.
I need my seat replaced.
Yep, we do that too.
I need a new roof line, and a new spoiler, and a new trunk.
We can even do that too.
Okay, I get it. I suppose you can also do a radio show too, huh?
Well, as a matter of fact, join me every Monday at 10 for auto repair with personal care here on The Source.
Of course you do.
Voice of Ocala, Buddy Sports Page. I hadn't even looked at the lines this week. I don't know why. We used to pick. Remember, we used to pick 6. We picked the Lions. So I haven't even looked at them. I don't even anymore. But if I were to look at them, and don't forget, we got South Florida playing also tonight. No, Friday. Excuse me. Friday. They play Connecticut. But Auburn tonight, a 9-point favorite over Kansas State.
I'm taking Kansas State.
It's tempting, isn't it?
They're in Manhattan, Kansas. You know how hard it is to go out there and play a Thursday night game, so it's a short week.
It's not much of a card. And I'll talk to Joe Williams about this when we get back, but there's just not a whole lot of I can't get too excited about Georgia and Troy, 40 points there. And there's about 3 or 4 games worth watching. I don't know that Florida State's situation, well, you never know. If they go out and stumble and fumble the first half and, Clemson gets it going the right direction.
Is that still on the board? I would thought they'd take that off the board.
I heard it was. I think they went from being like a 20-point favorite to about a 8 or 9-point favorite, I believe. You might look it up and see. But because he's going to play the second half. A lot of people very up. It's funny how initially we heard a lot of comments about good for Jimbo Fisher for suspending him in the first half, and then now it's turned ugly. And Joe Williams is one of those who's really angry about what's happened, what Florida State's done with Jameis Winston, how they've sort of coddled him, and he thinks they should have punished him, given him more severe. You get a variety of opinions about this.
You know what, though? If it wasn't for it being Jameis Winston and his track record, this would not even be a suspension. It would be a coach would call him in the office, say, what in the world were you thinking? Give him some extra running drills or something, and that would have been the end of it. The reason it's a story, that people are starting to wear on me when they say he should have been suspended for the year. I heard somebody say he should have been suspended for the year. If this is not Jameis Winston, the Heisman Trophy winner, who's had sexual assault allegations looked into about him, this is a story that a coach tells a player, stop being an idiot, and they move on from.
It's a good point, and Joe Williams wants to suspend him for a couple of games. Here's a column Ira Schofeld wrote, and I'm going to have Ira on tomorrow. He's, of course, from warchant.com. He covered it in depth there. And this is a comment he made. He takes a softer approach. I'm just reading from a part of it. He says, the problem with Jameis Winston is not that he's a bad person, as some people in the media have tried to portray. The only serious offense he has ever been accused of ended without him being arrested or charged with a crime. That doesn't make him an innocent, but it doesn't make him guilty either. And it has more of a positive impact between community outreach and encouraging young children in 2 years than many will have in a lifetime. The problem is we don't really know who he is, other than the brilliant athlete with tremendous charisma and a desire to perform. We want to appreciate his great abilities, but we can't ignore the rest. The real problem with Jameis Winston is this time it seems like there's always a problem with Jameis Winston.
Right. And the line is at 16.5.
It's okay. That's a lot of points. Clemson's just not any good.
They're really not.
Yeah, that's the problem. So, in the pro side of things, that we mentioned tonight's game, we've got the Falcons and the Tampa Bay Bucks. Had a little hope for Lovie Smith, but unless he gets that situation turned around with a quarterback, it's going to be another long year down there. But the games tonight, of course, this weekend, we've got a couple of pretty good games. At least from the standpoint of the point spread. Philadelphia and the Washington Redskins, and we'll let Terry Bradshaw, he has his picks tonight on that game, which he got 2 right last week. And Terry will join us in the next hour. Coming up at 6 o'clock is the Terry Bradshaw Football Show, part of Southern Pigskin Tonight, which plays right here. And as we speak, is playing in Georgia in 5 radio stations. So that's one that Terry will pick for you. And let's see what else he picked in that. Let's see, what were the other games Terry picked? You remember? He picked New Orleans, Minnesota. He picked New Orleans. It's a 10.5-point game. Minnesota 10.5-point underdog now.
And he picked the Colts.
And he picked the Colts. That's correct. That's correct. So Monday night game about to go is Jets and the Bears. And he's still mad at the Bears for some reason for the coin flip, and he picked the Jets in that game. So, so that's what we got in terms of games. What's going on there. And coming up in a minute, we'll have Joe Williams' take on it. I'd be glad when we get past all the other stuff and get down to the football and get back to what we've been waiting for all summer long, Tom.
It just seems like our summer hasn't started because we hadn't really talked football. We've talked about moronic football players.
Hey, this is game 4 And we're talking about
child abuse and domestic abuse.
We're almost 30% of the way through the football season here. And so we'd like to be able to. Let's go ahead and take our break now. And we'll grab Joe Williams on the other side and get his take on a few things. Listen to Buddy Martin Sports Page right here on
1370 AM, 96.3 FM. We're live and local on The Source.
Hi, this is Buddy Martin. If you have an award or a trophy in your house, there's more than a good chance it came from BJ Trophies Gifts and Awards. At BJ Trophies, Floyd Hirschberger and his staff have a lot more than just trophies. Among the items they specialize in are donor recognition walls and trees, personalized or engraved gifts, cast bronze dedication plaques, wide format digital printing with posters, banners, and signs, and promotional products. Floyd is the official trophy and awards maker for the Voice of Ocala radio show and is North Central Florida's leader in custom recognition programs, corporate awards, industrial engraving, unique gifts, and advertising specialties. When Angie Lewis went shopping for something to award to the winners of her State Farm Good Neighbor Award, she shopped first at BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Check them out at 1735 Northeast Jacksonville Road on North Magnolia's Miracle Mile, or call them today at 352-732-2249. BJ Trophies Awards and Gifts. Trophies is just our middle name.
Hello, I'm Dawn Lovell, lead event designer and owner at Party Time Rentals. Have you ever wondered what it takes to make an event spectacular? Well, look no further. It's what we do every day, whether you're hosting an intimate dinner for 10 or a gala for thousands. At Party Time Rentals, we find just the right style and elegance to make your event a success. Our extensive inventory of the finest in chandeliers, tents, crystal, china, and specialty items is featured in our fabulous showroom. Stop by and say hello. It's a great way to get ideas for an event and experience for yourself how you can make your party time special.
Party Time Rentals, located on Southwest 10th Street, just off Route 200 in Ocala, and off Southwest 34th Street in Gainesville. For more information, call 352-629-8858. That's 352-629-8858. The party begins at Party Time.
On the next day of Ocala Live, Robin and I will be speaking to Jim George. He's the owner of American Cable Services.
News Bites, the hottest news and current events served bite size.
And then the Equine Alliance of Marion County will be in the studio with their program, Horse Sense.
Join Kelly Fuqua-Hart, the executive editor of Ocala Magazine, on Ocala Magazine Radio.
And then Dr. David Hastings, a professor of marine science and chemistry at Eckerd College in St. Petersburg, is coming out to speak about the impact of climate change on the state of Florida and the costs of doing nothing to reduce carbon pollution.
Robert Castillo is an award-winning director, animator, illustrator, and storyboard artist who created storyboards for The Sopranos, Precious, Everyone's Hero, VH1, and Court TV, and he'll be on the air speaking about how to break into being a professional illustrator.
All of that plus fun with Joe on the next day of Ocala Live, right here on The Source, WOCA 96.3 FM,
1370 AM.
Good credits, bad credits. It's none of our business because we're not an auto dealer. We're not a bank. We're not your mother. We're OcalaForSale.com. Marion County's marketplace for cars, trucks, and SUVs. We've got thousands of sellers standing by to take your call. No middleman. But hurry, don't walk, don't run. Just sit down and log on to OcalaForSale.com. Prices and inventory change daily. Offer does not include dealer upcharge. Undercutting, rust-proofing, factory surcharge, or delivery fee. See website for details.
You've got a garden and we've got a show for you called You've Got a Garden with your host, Master Gardener Carol Ann Baldwin. Carol Ann answers your questions about your flowers, your veggies, your grass, your trees, even questions about your bugs. And she's only on WOCA, so don't miss Carol Ann Baldwin and You've Got a Garden each Tuesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. right here on WOCA The Source.
WOCA.
Welcome back to Buddy Sports Page. They're going to be hooking up with Joe Williams here in just a moment out in Denver. Going over the card this week, college football. It's been kind of a crazy year. The top four teams have held tight except for Georgia. The most significant game of the year, of course, played in Columbia last week. in a game that a lot of people saw as a likely upset, including Joe Williams and myself, others, because it played right into the hands of what Steve Spurrier does. And he likes to ambush teams, and he ambushed the Bulldogs. Of course, they ambushed themselves a bit too by not playing their running back and not having Gurley in the game at the time when they needed to have it, as we talked about quite a bit on this program last weekend. And the Auburn team, I'm curious to see, because a lot of people have rated Auburn very high. Matter of fact, most people felt like at media days in Hoover, we talked to all the experts that they felt like possibly Auburn might win the West, and some thought maybe even win the whole thing. I haven't seen that yet. I know they got terrific players back. Nick Marshall is a much improved quarterback. And they've got weapons. They got receivers. They got quarterbacks. They got running backs. They got defensive players. And there's no question that Auburn can do it. But when you drill right back down, you want to got him again? When you drill right back down on it and you start looking at it again and you think, okay, there's the reason I don't pick Auburn to go all the way. I think they're going to be a good team. They'll be right in it till they play the Iron Bowl. I don't think they can beat Alabama 2 straight years. That's number one. And secondly, you can't have those miracles every season. The remarkable games that they had in key playoff in key games, SEC championship included, Alabama included, that just doesn't happen. Those things are more like once in a lifetime as opposed to once in a season or once in a decade. So consequently, I think it's your we're having problems getting a hold of Joe? Okay. Well, he had problems getting a hold of me today as well. So we'll keep trying him. We'll call him again on the cell phone, see if we can reach him because I want to get his take on a few games. So anyway, I think that's mystery. There's no mystery in the Big Ten. Now, do I think the Big Ten is going to be down all year? No. I think there will be a team that will emerge. I don't know if it'll be Wisconsin. I'm not sure if Ohio State will get better. Obviously, getting beat like they did by Virginia Tech certainly devalued their stock. I think the Big Ten will get a little better. SEC is, the SEC. It is what it is, and nobody else is good. So, anyway, we'll see what the Auburn Tigers can do in Manhattan, Kansas, which is out to the west toward the Rockies, which is where we find Joe Williams at last from Mile High Sports. Hi, Joe.
Good afternoon, buddy. Nice job on your Facebook there.
Yeah, you look good in that chicken soup.
I'm not really sure what you were trying to do, but I'm sure Tom got a kick out of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, we don't want to publicly humiliate you as often as possible. That's the idea, and you do a pretty good job of that yourself. So it doesn't take a lot, So those were some fun times. Joe and I did TV shows together in radio, and he was a good sport about it. And he picked, I think it was Colorado to beat Nebraska or something, and I said, come on now, Joe. You said, I guarantee. I said, will you wear a chicken suit if you're wrong? You said, yeah. And the next week, mysteriously, a chicken suit showed up, and you put it on, and there it is. And it's kind of almost like a fable in Denver now, isn't it? People call up and go.
Maybe we can bury that for right now.
They call up your show and go, bok, 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 and do all kinds of things to you.
Yeah. Yes.
But let's get down to some more serious stuff. You're a astute observer of the college football scene. If I had like $1,000 to spend this weekend, which I don't have in a lifetime, but I wanted to play 3 games in college football, and I came to you, the guy who's a visionary, how would I spend that money?
Well, that's tough. I've been thinking about that very same thing myself, and I don't like the card this week all that much. By the way, let's pat ourselves on the back about South Carolina and Georgia last week.
How about that?
We kind of honed in. See, I don't have any real feelings about that. I would almost take Florida and 14.5 points against Alabama. But you seem to be closer to that situation than I am, and you don't necessarily think that's a good idea. I think West Virginia at home may have something for Oklahoma.
You do. It's funny. I wondered about that. People still are enamored of West Virginia's opening showing and think they played pretty well. And they did. I'm not a West Virginia believer. I think Oklahoma's a real deal. But then we disagree on that game. But you say you're taking Florida to 14.5 points?
I'd be inclined to do it only because what I saw West Virginia do to Alabama's defense. I don't think Alabama is quite as good defensively as they have been. And West Virginia is at home. Bob Stoops is known for having a couple of missteps every single year. We've all seen it happen to him. Just like Mark Richt does, he always ends up in losing a game or two. Maybe he shouldn't. So does Bob Stoops. And West Virginia with Trickett back there and Kevin White, who's a heck of a player, and they're playing at home. I kind of like the Mountaineers plus 7.5.
Okay, I hadn't thought about that one. All right,
well,
what about?
That's why you have me on the show.
That's correct, because you're the expert on quarterbacks and all
Well,
things.
no, I'm not an expert, but what I do is cover up for your misdeeds.
You got a full-time job doing that, pal.
I've been doing that forever.
For 30 years. All right, how about this FSU Clemson thing? It's down. What did you say it was, Tom? 10. Whatever it is.
Down to 16.5.
16.5 now. Would you touch that game? Would you take Clemson to 16?
Yeah, I would. Yes, I would. I'd take 16.5 points. I saw Florida State. They're not as good, for whatever reason, they're not as good a team as they were last year. At least not yet. Now, we all know that teams improve. Some get better, some get worse. This is college football for various reasons. But I saw them against Oklahoma State, a game which they could easily have lost. I like Clemson's athletic ability defensively. I'm not in love with Stout, their quarterback. They've got a freshman I think is probably better. But you put the fact that Winston is not going to play in the first half, which tells me they may not get off to a very fast start. So sure, I wouldn't have any trouble with Clemson and all those points.
Joe, but Clemson's not any good.
How do we know that?
Based on what I saw him play against their opening game, we thought he overvalued Georgia because of them, but that's just my opinion. I don't know.
See, but Buddy, the thing about it is that you got to have a body of work, and what we're seeing here are not finished products. Some of them get better, some of them get worse. All I'm saying is the Florida State team I saw is not as good as the one that we saw last year. At the end of the year, at Oklahoma State, you saw the game; they could have beat them. Oklahoma State they're not considered to be any kind of a threat this year in the Big 12 to anybody. They lost 28 seniors off their team last year. So I've never been big on Clemson, I know that, but we're talking about a lot of points here, and Jameis Winston not playing in the first half.
So you're going to go with them, huh? All right, well, you got two games I wouldn't touch, the 10-foot pole. Is there any one team that we've overlooked out there that you think is a good play this weekend?
No, there isn't. I don't like the card. I told you that. You're forcing me to do this.
I just want you to give me. I want you to enlighten me with your wisdom.
Well, I don't like the card. I keep trying to tell you that. Yeah, I can't help it. That
well, let's take Missouri. Take Missouri. They're a good team. They're 13.5 over at Indiana. How good are they?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't like that game. I think it's about right. Missouri probably win a cup by.
Are you taking Kansas State in 9 then?
No, I'd take Auburn. I think Auburn's the best team. The best team I've seen this year. And if they're not the best, they're second best.
I found him.
What's that?
Finally, LSU. We got about a minute. LSU and Mississippi State.
Well, I want to pull the trigger on Mississippi State. I don't know.
10 points.
Yeah, I know. It's close.
Dak Prescott.
Too close to call. You're trying to bait me into it. I know you are.
I just want to get your wisdom here. I mean, so far you haven't given me anything really to speak of. I'm just trying.
Because I don't like the card.
This is a big show, Joe. Okay, this is a big show. We have a huge audience. We're over 50 listeners now, and they expect your best when you come on the show.
All right.
It's a big
Tell
show.
them I'll take a Bulldogs in.
Okay. All right. So hopefully the card will get a little better, but as we go along. But things going like you kind of expect. Got 30 seconds. Anything you like what you see so far in college football?
I do so far. There's a lot of good teams, and I think there's 7 or 8 that are capable of being there in that Final Four, and I don't know which ones they are. I don't think anybody's going to be undefeated, though. What do you think?
I don't think so.
I don't think they are.
We'll have at least one 2-loss team in the 4 at least, and we'll have some, maybe 2 1-loss teams. So
Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be undefeated. So
all right, Hitman. There's the music.
All right.
Appreciate it, buddy.
Okay.
Joe Williams, Mile
All
High
right,
Sports. I want to thank our guests today. Thanks for the folks in the restaurant show, which we had to rewind on. Also, Jonathan Pierce with Franz Beard, Joe Williams, our broadcast partner, Tom Schmitz. I'm Buddy Martin. Have a wonderful evening, everybody.
She grew up in an Indiana town, had a good-looking mom who never was around, but she grew up tall and
Eye Care Center of Ocala is centered on patient satisfaction. Our friendly doctors and staff are here to serve all of your family's eye care needs under one roof. Our optometric physicians take great pride in offering every patient the absolute best in vision care, utilizing state-of-the-art technology. We're located about 2 miles west of I-75 on State Road 200. You can schedule an appointment for the Eye Care Center by going to www.eyecarecenterofocala.com, or you can call us at 352-512-0560.
Hi, this is Randy Briggs of the Briggs Law Firm. My son Bo and I practice exclusively in the representation of accident victims. And we've been asked many times why we would support and sponsor the program Ask the Cops with Sheriff Blair and Chief Graham, who are in the world of criminal law enforcement. Well, these legal rights actually overlap. In civil law enforcement, we're in the business of recovering for victims of accidents that which has been taken away from them and holding the responsible party accountable. Both civil law and criminal law share those common goals. So we're all in the field of law enforcement, and for that reason, we're proud to sponsor Ask the Cops on the Voice of Ocala with Buddy Martin. So if your family or a friend needs help in an accident situation, feel free to contact us at our website, www.The Briggs Law Firm. We're located in the Ocala Historic District.
The next drink is on Dave Del Rio at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill. Just ask him for it. But don't wait. Show up soon because this offer isn't going to last very long. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill will be filling up fast because their friends from the north are headed back that way soon. The good news is that seating is now available and Dave's buying the first drink. If you've been hearing about the crowd at Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill and couldn't get in, now you can see firsthand what your friends have been talking about. Great food. Try Chef Dave's tantalizing Floresiana menu. Great location. Check out those gorgeous sunsets over Lake Weir. Great people. Starting with Chef Dave Del Rio, who began his career in 1978. This spicy guy has been instrumental in opening over 100 restaurants. And he's buying you a drink. Eaton's Beach Sand Barn Grill, where there's little or no waiting these days. Come see what started out as Jay Eaton's dream almost 90 years ago. It's more awesome than ever.
Hi, I'm Yvette, and I'm here to tell you a few things about ABC Frederick's Appliance. They sell not only new, but used guaranteed appliances. When you call ABC Frederick's Appliance, they will provide service on what they sell and any appliances that you own. ABC Frederick's Appliance is located in Bellevue, right over the railroad tracks. Call 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. That's 352-629-5181. ABC Frederick's Appliance.
News Talk 1370. WOCA invites you to discover your full business potential. News Talk Radio is the perfect environment for your advertising. WOCA's News Talk format pinpoints information